Hi there, friends. Welcome back to my channel. It's Sarah Shire Arnett, your Northern Kentucky real estate professor here. And today we're finishing out our series on the home selling process by looking at one of the most exciting and possibly most nerve-wracking parts of the selling process, and that is negotiating offers and getting to the closing table. So let's talk about what an offer entails. When you get an offer on your property, there are a number of different factors that are involved, and it's not always just about the highest price. There are lots of terms in there, such as inspections, closing date, occupancy time, how much earnest money the buyer is putting down. All of these elements go into an offer. So when you get an offer, you want to read through it in its entirety and make sure you understand the key details of that offer. Next, you want to look at what's most important to you in selling your home. Is it the highest price, or is time after closing the most important thing for you? Or is the closing date, the most important thing for you? There's lots of things besides price that can make an offer win out in someone's mind. When you negotiate, there's lots of different strategies that you can use, and a good realtor can help you understand the terms of the offer and understand how to structure a counter offer to elicit you the best terms in the end. And again, maybe that's not the best price. Maybe you can give a little on the price, but you can get a few extra weeks after closing for occupancy. That means that you only have to move once. Now, once you've gotten an offer accepted, you're ready to move on to the next part, getting to the closing table. So how on earth does that happen? Well, there's a lot of magic behind the scenes that goes on during this process. There are typically two main contingencies in any offer that you're going to want to get through. The first is an inspection, and the second is home financing on the buyer's part and an appraisal. Now, an inspection usually happens within 7 to 10 calendar days after you get a contract negotiated. You want the buyer to be there for part of the inspection at least so that they can see the things that the inspector points out. Now, you may be thinking, I don't want anybody to do an inspection on my property. I don't want them to find issues, and I don't want the buyer to give me a whole laundry list of things that I have to fix. Well, rest assured. First of all, you don't have to fix anything when you sell your home. But most buyers are going to be thoughtful in their inspection process. You want the buyer to do an inspection on the property because you want them to know the full nature of the property, the true condition of the property, so that they're making an informed decision. If there are repairs that need to be made, we'll look through that repair request list and see what makes the most sense for you to do. And maybe you give a credit to the buyer to instead of making repairs, or I will help you use my network of people to make the repairs necessary if need be. Some repairs may be necessary when you sell a house, but a good realtor can help you negotiate through the inspection process to move on to the next hurdle, which is the appraisal. Now, if you used a good realtor in helping you sell your home, the price that you've accepted for your home in the purchase contract is likely going to be within the realm of possibilities for an appraisal. An appraiser is going to look at the same things that the realtor did during the pricing strategy: active homes for sale, pending, and sold within the past 6 months. The appraiser is the eyes and ears for the buyer's bank. And so that appraised value has to come in at least at the sales price. It may come in higher, but if it comes in lower, that's when we need to have a little discussion. Finally, we've gotten through the inspection, we've gotten through the appraisal, and we get those glorious words that everyone wants to hear: clear to close. That means that the buyer's loan has been approved and we're ready to schedule that closing. But there's one more step that needs to happen, and that's the buyer does their final walkthrough. Now, I've had many sellers call me and say, oh my gosh, my house is a mess. I've got boxes everywhere. I don't want the people to come through and see the house like this. Don't worry. They want to see the boxes because you're moving out of the house and they're moving in. If a buyer does their walkthrough the day before closing and you've got no boxes, the buyer's going to be a little concerned that you're not going to get out in time and they're going to have to find another place to live. So don't worry about letting the buyer come through for their final walkthrough. The purpose of the final walkthrough is to make sure that the home is in the same condition it was, except for the boxes, that it was when they made the offer, and to reignite the buyer's excitement about the house. We get through the walkthrough, we sit at the closing table, and this is the happy place. This is when everybody signs all the necessary documents, the deed, the financial statements that break down who gets paid what during the transaction. And then we turn over the keys to the new buyer, and hopefully we head off to a closing on your next house. Thank you so much for joining me in this journey through the home selling process. I really hope you found these videos helpful. If you have any questions about home buying or selling, leave them in the comments below or send me a message. I'm always available to answer any of your questions. Now, don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any future content. I'll see you next time.